Go ahead and do that. Shout out to my people, YouTube world. When you guys come up in YouTube, you guys make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment on the actual broadcast tonight. Once again, for my YouTube family, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment on tonight's broadcast. We're going to be touching up on the Sha'Carri Richardson victory in the World Championship. She beat a packed crowd. Of course, Jamaica had some of the top sprinters in the world. The legendary Shelly Ann Fraser Price was up in there. And what's the other girl name? Elaine. Elaine was up in there. Elaine is no joke. And
Elaine Thompson wasn't in there. That was Sharika Jackson.
Okay, Sharika was in there, not Elaine. Yeah, Elaine is a monster, cuz like Elaine is a monster. This is going to be when the Olympics in 2024, right? Yes, 2024. It's no way in hell Shelly Ann Fraser Price. This chick is ran in like 3-4 Olympics. There's no way Shelly Ann should be able to make the Olympics, because I would think just father time would have caught up with her. But if Shelly Ann makes it to this Olympics and if she wins a medal, good Lord, you just got to tip your cap to her. I think Sha'Carri,
she top 3 in the world. She was, she get that automatic qualifying spot for the most part, so she won't have to run too many heats in order to qualify. She already in there. You see what I'm saying? So that's crazy right there in itself. You know what I mean?
Shelly ain't got to be like 30, at least 33, 34, right? If not 35.
Yeah, but again, she top 3 women sprinter in the world, bro.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying that she's still at the level that she's at. Like, it's just that's remarkable.
Right. And like I said, she ain't got to run too many heats, because who could really beat her? They call her the mommy rocket for a reason.
The pocket rocket. That's what they call it, because Shelly Ann, what, about 5 foot, 5'1"?
It's the mommy rocket now. She went from the pocket rocket to the mommy rocket. She just had her first child, so now she's the mommy rocket.
That's what.
You know what a pocket rocket is.
Okay. I like little mommy rocket though.
And Shelly Ann is a Shelly Ann does her thing. I can't hate on her. I got to give her due, give her credit. She's an all-time great. Like I said, I'm just happy that Sha'Carri Richardson was able to come back. And let me go ahead, y'all, and let me start getting up into the actual topics tonight as well, to everybody. Definitely, DJ, you want to say something before I go ahead and get it in? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
You sure? Because I mean, we got 3 topics we're gonna be touching.
I got my hands up if you want to read an article or do whatever you're gonna do. It's still about Olympics. That's my favorite sport next to football. So I'm ready for the talking points. Let's go.
Real talk. Well, let me.
I'm actually watching a lot of the runs that was going on the last 4 days. So you go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah. Shelly Ann, like I say, she's a legend. So I got to give her that, man. Hopefully, Sha'Carri, she's starting to get go ahead and carve her legacy out right now too. So it all depends on what you do in the Olympics. The World Championships are great, but she definitely got to go ahead and she bring that same energy, because she came out of nowhere. Because I saw that replay of that race, and everybody's eyes was on Jamaica, and then I just saw your girl at the bottom of the screen with lane 9 just start hitting it. I'm like, oh Lord, out of nowhere she came, like she was fired out of a rocket herself. I couldn't believe that. She just came out of nowhere, and just like that. That was one of the best. That was one of the best comebacks I ever seen. And I've been watching the Olympics for a long time, because that's one of the best comebacks I ever seen in terms of a sprinter. Like, she just came out of nowhere, and I got to give her due on that. Let's go ahead and touch up on these topics, and we're going to touch up on Miss Sha'Carri Richardson tonight as well, too. I want to lead off with this situation in Mississippi. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on down there. Of course, in Mississippi, there's so much that goes on that you can never really get the full understanding of everything that goes on in that state. But got an article from News One, curator on Newstoter.com platform. It's titled, Mississippi Cop Loses Job After Arresting 10-Year-Old Black Boy for Peeing Behind Mom's Car. I kid you not. That title is serious. Mississippi Cop Loses Job After Arresting 10-Year-Old Black Boy for Peeing Behind Mom's Car. A Mississippi cop is out of a job after arresting Quantavious Easton, a 10-year-old black boy, for peeing behind his mother's car. According to Centobia, I guess that's the city. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Centobia Police Chief Richard Chandler, the officer who made the arrest, is no longer employed with the department, but did not specify if the officer who lost his job had been fired or resigned voluntarily. In a statement posted on Facebook, Chief Chandler also assured that other officers involved will face disciplinary action. Several of our officers were recently involved in an incident that involved a 10-year-old juvenile. The officer's decision violated our written policy and went against our prior training on how to deal with these situations, Chandler wrote. He continued, as a result of this investigation, one of the officers involved is no longer employed and others will be disciplined. We also have mandatory juvenile training department-wide, just as we do every year. On August 10th, officials from Centopia Police Department detained 10-year-old Quantavious Eason for public urination. He was charged with the child in need of services and released shortly after. In a post shared on Facebook on Sunday, LaTanya posted a picture of her son detained in the back of the officer's cop car. I'm just speechless right now. Why would you arrest a 10-year-old kid? The upset mother told Fox 13 Memphis. In a statement posted to Facebook last week, Chief Chandler apologized for the child's arrest. He claimed that the officer on duty was following the law under the state's Youth Court Act, which allows officers to file referrals against children as young as 7 years old if they're in need of supervision, or 10 years old if they commit acts that would be illegal for an adult. Chandler stated that the officer did not see Eason at the time and detained her son because he was committing an act in public that would have been illegal for an adult. The police chief called the shocking arrest an error of judgment and vowed to implement better training for officers across the department. But Quantavious' mother wasn't satisfied with the response. His apology is not good enough for me, she said. She told the local CBS outlet WREG. She also told the publication that she was working on seeking legal action. A GoFundMe has been set up for Quantavious Eason and his family by the nonprofit organization. All right, y'all. I mean, now let's be honest. If this was just a regular little white kid and he was pissing behind a car outside, whether his mom was in plain sight or not, officer would have told him, hey, son, don't do that. Go ahead and pull up your pants. Go in and go where don't you got someplace you need to go at? Where's your parents or whatever? The fact that you went ahead and arrested this, and I don't know, they said, well, that's something that if he was an adult, he would be arrested for or whatever. Well, here's the thing. He's not an adult. He's 10 years old. He's a 10-year-old boy. And you arrested a 10-year-old boy for doing something. Let's be for real that most of us, and I know it's a different time and era, but most of us as 10-year-old boys and as boys have pissed outside while we were playing or whatever. As boys growing up in the 80s and 90s, we've pissed outside. I'm just being honest. I understand that, yeah, you can't, and then people get charged with as a sex offender for that kind of stuff as well, too, but you're talking about a 10-year-old boy. You're not talking about a 18, 19-year-old. You're talking about a 10-year-old boy. And the fact of the matter that you charged him with something like this, not even charged him, I'm sorry, but arrested him, had him in a cop car and everything else, 10 years old, makes absolutely no sense. And I understand what the police chief was trying to say that, yeah, you know, we have a policy and he was doing his job and this and that. Well, if you have a policy and he was just doing his job and he was following protocol, then why did he get suspended? I mean, why did he get fired? You know, if that was part of his job and everything else or whatever, and that's the protocol, and, you know, if you're doing something as a minor that would get you arrested if you were older and it's illegal, you know, to say he's just doing his job. If that's the case, why did the man get fired? And why are you talking about discipline other people that was also part of this? Because for the simple fact, something called common sense rules the day. And this officer showed no common sense. He went ahead and he made something out of nothing. He arrested a child 10 years old for peeing outside behind his mama's car. That, oh, I didn't see the mother and this and that or whatever. Had he not saw the mother or not, what he was supposed to do as a cop was supposed to sit up there and tell the kid, hey, son, you can't do that. You know, you go to one of these stores, you go to a public restroom, you go ahead, but, you know, it's against the law. Even though you're young, you can't sit out here and you can't pee in a public place. Use that as a teaching moment, not as a moment to go ahead and arrest him and put him in a police car. Just unbelievable right here. Unbelievable. DJ, I know you had your hand up and I know you wanted to speak on something else as well too, but I had to lead off with this topic right here. I had to, like I say, as a young boy, we whether you've gone fishing somewhere, whether you're playing sports, whether you're walking somewhere, you know, this is something that Young boys have done, whether you've been on a trip somewhere and maybe there's not a restroom in sight. I understand, like I said, I understand that grown men can't be out in public doing this. But as a child, and you've had plenty of women that used to take their kids and stuff, take their little boys on the side of the road or whatever. Mothers, okay, mine did it. and took you to the side of the road and let you pee. And for the fact of the matter, he got him a nice little ride in a police car, something he'll never ever forget. 10 years old, you can't really blame his mom for being pissed off. And like I said, if it wasn't such a big deal, if he was actually following policy, if this is what they had in law, then that officer should not have got fired if that's the point in the case. But common sense, like I said, because everybody understands that, hey, this is a different situation. You're not dealing with a grown up and an adult. You're not even dealing with a teenager. You're dealing with a 10-year-old boy, and you arrest him for peeing in a public place, peeing outside. You can't make this stuff up. And Mississippi never fails us. Mississippi never fails to give us some news. They just never fail. You can always expect Mississippi to come with some crap. DJ, what's up? You wanted to say something real quick?
Yeah, I was gonna say Mississippi never fails to be anti-black. There you go. So with that being said, it's your God-given right to go number 1 and 2. Half the time when you in our neighborhoods, a lot of these restaurants and stores are owned by the non-black Americans. Hey, you could be a person that's from the neighborhood. They see you every day. They won't even allow you to use the bathroom. So in reality, it was really the little boy's older sister that told him, just go behind the car or whatever the case, because the mother was in the lawyer office handling whatever family business that she needed to handle. And when she came outside, she saw her son in the car. So at the end of the day, all the officer had to do, especially since he was a male too, hey, look, this is how you do it. You sneak behind the building, go find a dumpster right here real quick, you know what I'm saying? Or, you pull the car door open and stand behind the car door with your back facing to the street. So that way you could just pee real quick, make it quick, get a couple whacks up in there to knock off that extra pee. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. And zip your pants up, go about your business and shit, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, not only should that cop be fired, he should never work again as an officer of the law. Well, we already know how this works. They got this qualified immunity thing popping on, so he gonna get another job somewhere else in another city or raising another black kid family. You know how this go, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, the cop was a real dumbass. I know, and I know we don't know his actual race or whatever. I'm hoping that this can't be a black man to be that stupid to do something like this. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping. Because we've seen a lot of black cops over the past year, so do a lot of dumb stuff as well too. So I'm just hoping that this ain't some Negro that went up here and just did something completely stupid like that. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a shock at this day and age. You know what I mean? I had to pull a black a top flight security guard that works in a parking lot of a shopping center where I live at over here in New Jersey, called the police on me because I was just handing out QR code flyers, yo. Real shit, you know what I mean?
Real talk, man. Real talk. I don't know if you guys want to touch up on this Howard University situation as well too. I don't know if y'all been looking at the news, but Howard had an incident up there where you had some people came on campus and really started roughhousing. Allegedly started roughhousing the actual students up there. And I shouldn't say allegedly because there was actually people that actually witnessed it as well too. So I'm going to go ahead and touch up on that as well too, man. This is just and Howard's going to have to do something about this situation here too. This is from the New Pittsburgh Courier. It says Howard University students stabbed, beaten by mob outside residence halls. That's up in the Jumbotron as well too. At least one student was stabbed and several others injured in a violent attack that occurred at Howard University, NBC Washington reports. According to the victims, a bunch of DC locals showed up outside of 2 residence halls and began kicking and punching students. It was like maybe 5, 10, 20, one victim said, and one lunges at me, so I square up. We were getting jumped, another student said of the attack. 2 students said they were able to escape, but others got left behind. Among those, one was stabbed. He got stabbed in the back, and he just got beat on by like 30 people, him by himself. And security looked at him on the ground, watched his body go limp, and just walked away. Didn't call anybody, didn't do anything, a witness recalled. So the security allegedly just sat there and didn't do anything, didn't intervene, didn't help or whatever. Allegedly, I say. Following the attack, at least one juvenile was arrested with a handgun, according to the campus police chief. The chief said an internal and external investigations have been launched into the violent incident. A university police lieutenant was suspended pending the internal investigation. A third-party security contractor was removed from campus. One victim said they were prepared to die during the attack. When I was on the ground getting stumped out, I just stopped feeling the pain. At one point, the victim said, Howard University officials announced plans to install over 1,000 cameras and implement safety paths where students will have access to a security officer within 100 feet. Yikes, what in the hell is going on there, Howard? Let me give a shout out real quick to Sister Michelle. Thank you for your contribution. Let me give a shout out to Charles over there on YouTube. Charles, thank you for your contribution as well, too. Go ahead, DJ, because I had heard something about that. Is this some kind of like Fight Club crap going on in DC right now? Because I was hearing some crazy stuff going on.
Right. I haven't heard exactly about this particular incident. This is new to me as you're displaying the news about it. But obviously, we do know about the issues going on in Howard with our Black American kids. They're being shunned and overshadowed by these African students. That's not fair. Other thing is too, they saying that a lot of the African students got their own everything going on, but there's no resources for the Black American students. They also have rat-infested dorm halls, asbestos in the dorm halls, all types of stuff like that. But Howard all of a sudden got money for 1,000 security cameras. You see what I'm saying? Where was the money at to fix up the the dorm halls prior to the students moving on campus for the school year? You see what I'm saying? So we also have reports that there are a lot of Africans actually are the deans and the principals and administrators of these HBCUs. And shout out to Brother Moko and Mr. Zell. They had their space open earlier this year. Only 10 out of, I think 120, 125 HBCUs, only 10 were actually funded by a Black descendant of slave. So there you go. And I think Howard is one of them, though, but I could be wrong. Best to ask Brother Moko or Mr. Zell about that. They know a little bit more than me. But at the end of the day, when you say a mob came up on campus, well, where was campus? Not only the security, campus security got immediate, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Immediate connection with DC police. You see what I'm saying? And being that the way where Howard is at out there in DC, police is always around that area. I used to work right down the block on Rhode Island Avenue and just roam around that area. You know what I mean? So police, federal agents, it's always some type of authority rolling around. So he could have hit the walkie-talkie like, yo, we got a mob of people just came up here out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? And then obviously the students are unaware. They're getting jumped, stabbed, beat up. So this is the argument Brother Ray always making. Hey, criminals ain't worried about no gun license. See that? Well, go ahead.
That's crazy. That's wild that you had a bunch of people, and from what they saying, locals come up there, because I've heard something that, and I'm trying to remember where that article was at. Something about, and damn, I tweeted that article out earlier too, man, as well too. I got to go ahead and read back on it, but something about something going on around the city with gangs of people and stuff, just walking around, just beating the crap out of folks and whatnot. So they decided to go up on the university and just pile on a bunch of students as well too. And I get what you're saying about the actual thing with the HBCU in terms of the actual living conditions and everything else. Because at FAMU, similar issue down here in Florida as well too, where you had some of these actual dorms and stuff had mold in it and had really wasn't fit. They didn't have enough. They had to go ahead and start building actual more living quarters because they just didn't have enough to actually to go ahead and fit all the students in. So there's been a lot of things with the HBCUs in terms of the finances, how things actually ran, so you have to go ahead and point that out as well too. But the fact of the matter that you got students sitting up here minding their own business on campus, and they getting mobbed on and they getting welled. And then one of the cats that got arrested was a juvenile. He had a handgun on him. Like, yo, what's going on in DC? Because I'm starting to hear more things about like groups of people going in and just, just welling on folks. And they decided to come up here on campus. And you're right. You would think Howard would definitely, with the police and this is really bad. If they're sitting up here and they talking about, they said a university police lieutenant was suspended pending an internal investigation. You had a third party security contractor was moved from campus. You got the kids up here saying that, hey, we got the dog kicked out of us, and these security officers and police officers, they wouldn't just sat up there and looked, and not only looked, but in some instances looked and walked away while they was actually getting mobbed on. I mean, real talk. This is crazy. Stephanie, what's going on tonight? How you doing? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good.
That's good. Salute to you. Salute to have this chat. Shout out to everybody in the room. First off, I just want to say congratulations to Sha'Carri Richardson. I never left her side when she was going through her growing pains and ups and downs and stuff like that. So I'm ecstatic. I just did not like the negative feedback and the negative press that she was getting. She has every right to feel the way she feels. She's a human being after all, and she's going through her little situation, but she bounced back, and she came back, and she executed like she was supposed to do. So salute to her. Screw what all these negative people got to say about her. Let's just keep it a whole buck. I'm happy that she did it. She represents women like me, and I will continue to support her. As far as that police officer is concerned, my honest opinion, he should not have been a police officer in the first place. A lot of these police officers or sheriffs or constables, whatever they call them, a lot of them get in those positions just for the sake of power and control. So they're in it for just to terrorize people. It's not like they're in it to enforce law, be courteous and professional. They're in it to terrorize a certain demographic of people who know who they are, right? So all he's going to do, just like DJ said, he's going to go to another town, another location, and get another job. Look what happened with Tamir Rice, okay? That guy went to become a police officer somewhere else, okay? He didn't get charged, became a police officer somewhere else, and then he's now back in the same, I think if I'm not mistaken, he applied to get his job back at the old precinct that he was working at before. So, I mean, it's just a never-ending story. It just goes back around in circles, the same story. So, lastly, with Howard, did they say what race of people these people were? Or,
no, they didn't say their race. They didn't say the race yet.
Okay. Well, on that one, I'm gonna just hold out on that until we get the full story. But my thing is, what happened to all of the campus security and all these other people that they have surrounding these campuses to keep them from even getting on the campus, let alone coming into the schools and attacking people? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But thank you for letting me speak.
Absolutely. Always, Stephanie, shout out to everybody coming up in the space. You guys make sure you go ahead and retweet the space out as well too. Go ahead and retweet the space out. Let me go ahead real quick and cover this thing with Sha'Carri Richardson. And definitely, guys, feel free to touch up on any topic. We're talking about Sha'Carri Richardson tonight. We're talking about the Howard students being mobbed and beaten, stabbed. One student was up there on campus. We're also talking about a 10-year-old boy that was in Mississippi who was taking a leak, so to speak, outside and got arrested. Put it up in a damn police car by this police officer who's been fired. So yeah, we're touching up on a number of things tonight. So definitely feel free. I want to touch up on Sha'Carri Richardson. I want to give his sister her props. She dealt with so much stuff over the past couple of years. She lost her mother. She had her dream taken from her. I know a lot of people say, well, you know the rules and you can't use illegal substances or whatever. She didn't have steroids or HGH or any of the other stuff, but she got caught with marijuana and tested positive, so she ended up missing the Olympics. She came back and she wasn't quite up to her form. People kind of took it that she was being cocky because she said a few statements and this and that. So she lost to Shelly Ann Frazier and Elaine them. And, so she had to kind of get her bearings back underneath her, but get her bearings back underneath her, she did, in grand fashion. She showed the heart of a champion in the world championship as well, too. Like, it looked like it was, everything was was pretty much going Jamaica's way, and then she was just shot out of a cannon. That was one of the best closes I've ever seen, man or women, in the actual race. She absolutely hawked them down, and shout out to that sister there. She ran one of the fastest times in women's history as well, to that 10.65. She was flying. To put that in perspective, the world record is still held by the late, great Florence Griffin Joyner at a 10.49, and that has not been touched, I think, since 1987, 88. So that lets you know that she ran one of the fastest times in history as well, too. So shout out to her. And hopefully she keeps putting in the work that she did. She seems to have a renewed focus. She seems to really, really, really have the vision back, and we want to see her keep doing well as well too. So let me touch up on this as well. This is up in the Jumbotron News 1, curated at Newstoter.com. And it was kind of crazy, the actual title of the actual article as well too, because I know people were saying that she was only speaking to Black journalists and stuff. So we're gonna touch up on this topic as well too. It says Sha'Carri Richardson snubs mainstream media for Black journalists after winning world title. Viral video claims. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Those words may best have summed up Sha'Carri Richardson's reported attitude toward the mainstream media after track star won her first world title on Monday. Richardson was in Hungary for the World Athletic Championships, where she won a gold medal in spectacular fashion in the women's 100-meter final and record for the event. She raced past her opponents for a World Athletic Championship best time, 10.65, but it wasn't so much that she won, but how she won, and then how she reportedly handled the win afterward. Richardson is shown toward the end of the sprint, waving her hand toward the crowd in acknowledgement that she was about to win. Afterward, while media likely clamored to score an exclusive interview, a video posted to social media claimed to show Richardson only speaking with a Black reporter before walking past a group of other members of the media and simply telling them, "No, thank you." And what seemed like a coordinated effort, dozens and dozens of social media accounts posted the same video accompanied by the following message. Sha'Carri didn't stop to talk to any of the media saying no thank you. She only stopped to talk to those Black journalists. A Jamaican media outlet later posted the interview shown in the viral video. Later, it appeared Richardson did speak with mainstream media, as the Associated Press reported that she said after the race that she was inspired by her opponents. All the heavy hitters were going to bring their A game, so it helped me pull out my best A game as well, Richardson said. I'm next to living legends. It feels remarkable. She later added, you bring who you are onto the track, you bring your athlete into life. Just knowing that people know me not just as an athlete, but as a person, there is no separate. Honestly, the victory was a long time coming after a couple years after she wasn't allowed to compete in the Olympic Games after failing a drug test for marijuana. Richardson had been working toward Monday win for a while now, including May when she won the title by running the fastest time of the year with a 10.76 100-meter race. At the time, Richardson explained that she had found my piece back on track, and I'm not letting anything or anybody take that anymore. Richardson had been expected to make headlines at the Tokyo Summer Olympics 2 years ago after qualifying for the 100-meter. However, shortly before the Olympics were set to begin, she was disqualified for competing in the worldwide event after testing positive for marijuana and accepted a 1-month suspension. Richardson said she used marijuana after her mother died. Soon after, she completed a counseling program and did not compete in Tokyo. But the failed negative test took her from media darling to villain, with negative headlines that Richardson and her team have apparently not forgotten. A year ago, she was in no man's land as far as not making the team, Richardson agent said following her win on Monday. And then to come back and finally find her happy place, which is on the track, and to not try to compete with any kind of negative influences out there. I personally told her, you'll never win that battle on your best day. So shout out to her. Shout out to her. The sister, she went ahead and she definitely did her thing. And like I said, she did it in grand fashion. That was one of the greatest closes to a race, whether the 100-meter men or women. She absolutely came out of nowhere in that lane 9. And she was shot from a cannon. The girl was getting it. She was hitting it. So shout out to Sha'Carri. Rest in peace of your mother as well, too, sister. I'm glad that, I'm sure she's looking down on you and she is very proud of what you did. Hoping for bigger and better things for you. We want to see you come Olympic time, bring that gold medal back home to America. It's been a while, but we definitely want to see that 100-meter women gold medal, come back home to America. So keep it up. Stay healthy as possible. Keep your focus. You did a great thing, and shout out to her. Definitely proud. Definitely glad to see you come back and do it. You were able to go ahead and put the distractions to the back burner, and you were completely laser focused out there. And that was one of the most impressive. And I've been watching the Olympics since '88. That was one of the most impressive displays that I saw. So shout out to you, sister. That was absolutely brilliant, and definitely keep it up. We definitely want to see more. You're young, and you definitely should be one to have a chance to be one of the true legends of the actual sport as well too. So let me go ahead, DJ Stephanie. Anybody else that wants to speak as well too, feel free to come on up here and grab the microphone. We definitely want to hear what you got to say as well too. So shout out, I see my man Original up here too. And Original, I know sometime tonight you're gonna talk about that situation down there in Mississippi with the damn cops jacking up this young boy and arresting him and putting him in the police car as well too. So we'll definitely touch up on that. So anybody that wants to speak on anything, guys, come on up here and speak as well too. Like I said, we got 3 topics tonight. You know how we do, open mic. Come on up here, talk about it, say what you feel, get the microphone. You're free to definitely come up here. Let me go ahead and get to Stephanie, and I'm gonna get the Original DJ, and anybody else that wants to come up here, definitely come on up here.
Okay, I just wanted to bring something to your attention, and I think she has a little type of animosity towards the media, because I know when she was about to have a race, and one of the reporters brought up to her about the death of her mother, and she didn't know her mother had passed away at the time. So I think that kind of played a big part in why she felt the way she feels towards the media. Also, I wanted to know, when you talked about the Howard thing, right? Because it's been a pattern of all these smash and grabs and all these attacks lately. Do you think this could all possibly be politically motivated? And also, I wanted to bring up another thing to your attention, that around the time that Sha'Carri was suspended for THC in her system, did you know about the white girl that was tested positive for steroids, and they still allowed her to compete in the Olympics, in the trials? So I just wanted to wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I remember something along that line. I'll be honest, it was a couple of years ago with so much stuff going on. I definitely can't say I remember it clearly and stuff, but I do remember a case where people felt something was like it was a double standard being played with one of the actual Olympians as well too. So I can't say in particular that I remember exactly what happened, but I remember something coming up in that scenario. And with the situation in Howard, I'm not exactly sure what's going on up there. I'm not, this is something that this is something that was just to have a group of people come onto a college campus and just start attacking, and 2 residence halls just come up there and just start attacking students just randomly, just for the hell of it. It's one thing if maybe some of the students had gotten a beef with sometimes you get in a beef with somebody off campus and they come on there or whatever, and something like that might pop off. But it just seemed like these people just walked up on campus, spotted some people, and just started just attacking them, just kicking their ass and stuff, just for the hell of it. So I don't even understand that, but I know one thing. We definitely it's something that we got to look at, because you're in DC. It wouldn't surprise me if it was political. It wouldn't surprise me if it was just a bunch of dumbasses off the street as well too, just looking to start some stuff up or whatever. Maybe they was put up to it by somebody as well too. So you never know. Sometimes you can find a dumbass off the street, give them a few dollars to go in there and act like a nigga, and just go ahead, and so he can go in and cause some drama and make things look bad for black people and whatnot. So that wouldn't be totally shocking as well too, that hey, they found a couple times to go up there, and then they can start saying, well, you see how they are, and even on campus they doing this and that or whatever. So at this point in time, not to speculate, but nothing really surprises me. I know somebody, I think Carlos put in the comments section, Carlos said that HU attack wasn't a coincidence. This was their get back for the Alabama ass whooping they took. Now they've escalated to a war. So at this point in time, like I say, I don't know if you can rule anything out. It just, to me, it was just, that was just something that, I mean, how often do you hear just people just come up to the campus, a gang of people, not 1 or 2 people, a gang of people come up here, and they just commence to welling on folks. And then, like I say, from what the actual students were saying, some of the students were saying that, hey, the actual security people, the actual campus police, they did nothing. Like they didn't do a damn thing. They didn't try to do anything to intervene or stop it or whatever. Like from what the actual article was saying, they're saying that these people just turned their back and just walked away. Which you got to say, wow, that is really hard to believe that they would do something like that. But so at this point, Stephanie, I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Something's got to come out more with this as well too. And we got to see if this is going to also be, if this thing goes from campus to campus, from HBCU campus to HBCU campus, then you'll know that it's more than meets the eye right here. So we'll keep our eyes on it and see what's going on and how this story develops as well too. So let me go ahead and get to original. Carlos, I saw you came up here, so I'll let you get it in there as well too.
Greeting, peace, black power, and reparation, lineage-based reparation. So, Musa, are you saying these were white folks that came on our campus?
The article hasn't said it. The article hasn't said. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know for a certain. I don't know if this was just a bunch of dumbass Negroes that came up here and was put up to it. I don't know if it was a bunch of. I would figure that if it was white people, I would figure that somebody would have said something. First off, I don't think you're gonna get too many white folks to run up on Howard's campus, and just start attacking black people. So maybe it's could have been some Negroes that was some tools or whatever, getting broke off some money or whatever to go ahead and cause some fracas. Who knows? I mean, to me, it's just it seemed like if you would have had a group of white folks come up there and start like it just first off, if you got a group of white folks coming up into the HBCU and just start attacking black folks, all hell is supposed to break loose. I mean, just to be honest, but I don't know original. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know exactly.
Okay. Well, I want to say this. I'll start with Mrs. Well, let me say this first. I know years ago there were students at the Atlanta University Center over here. They was coming under attack by people in the community, and so they put like a wrought iron fence all around the entire campus. And then there were some people who were saying, "Oh, they're trying to lock the community out of the campus." Well, my position was, well, if some people in the community are attacking the students, the students' safety come first, not the community. So, yeah, I'll try to look to and see how this, pan out, because it's like now they want to try to hide certain things. They want to, some of these people call themselves news organizations, but they want to hide certain information. But it's so great that we have social media where the truth can get out, and then they're forced to put the truth out there. But I'll start with Mississippi. As Nina Simone said, Mississippi, goddamn. This is a damn shame that a white cop going to arrest a 10-year-old child, just because they peed in public. Because you still have some of these places whereby they still don't want black folks coming into their place to use it. They don't want to come in there to eat or use the restroom. So, there were some places around in this building where I worked, whereby the UPS and the other drivers, I tell them when they deliver, I said, look, if y'all got to go to the bathroom, just walk on by as if you're delivering a package. They don't know, and just go and relieve yourself. Because I said, it don't make any damn sense for y'all to walk around here, and some of these crazy ass folks don't want y'all to, use their restroom. That's crazy as hell. So I would tell them, they enjoy having me working there, because see, a lot of them I would, because sometimes I wouldn't be there, or I would give them the code to get into the building. And somebody said, well, why'd you give them the code? I said, do you want your package delivered? Do you want to be able to finish your projects? I said, well, if they have to come later than 5 o'clock, then they can get in and drop the package off at a spot that I've designated for them and keep it moving. And that kind of quieted it down. But I gave it to them specifically if they had to go to the restroom, they could relieve themselves. Because this is insane the way some of these crazy ass people conduct themselves. I'm telling you. Well, like I said, I'll just say what Nina Simone said when Emmett Till, I think it was after Emmett Till it was after Emmett Till or Medgar Evers, and she said Mississippi got down, you know. And as far as Sha'Carri Richardson, I think all black athletes, see, if those NFL athletes had stood with Colin Kaepernick, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening, you know, because some of them are so stupid. And let's not forget when what's his name, Michael Vick, he started telling Colin Kaepernick to cut his hair and do all Colin Kaepernick did was say Stockholm syndrome is real. Michael Vick couldn't say anything, you know. But all these athletes should boycott these white reporters because they're always. And remember, what's the brother name? Was it Marshawn Lynch? Where he said, "I'm just here so I won't get fired." That's it. Every time they ask him a question, he goes, "I'm just here so I won't get fired." And so I think until they come together and begin to put these folks in their place, a lot of this stuff is going to continue to happen. And Stephanie, she mentioned the smash and grab. Well, I saw an article today where there was some smash and grab that was going on in Los Angeles County. I think it was up near it was out in the valley somewhere. But what they found out was, see, they had their faces all covered, but those was Spanish-speaking people doing all that robbing. But they covered their faces up and stuff and tried to make themselves appear to be black. And people thought it was black folks, but it ended up being Spanish-speaking people. So that's what's going on. Everybody trying to do things and point it and blame it on us. You know, so I just want people to be aware of that. And back to Sha'Carri Richardson, you know, there's a lot of hate that's coming from these Caribbean people. There's a video. I don't know if I resent it. I have to check to see. I may have to just resend it again. But there's a video of John Carlos, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's saying that this Jamaican guy that he was running with, how the Jamaican guy was. Now this is back in the '60s now. The Jamaican guy would always say he's not black, he's Jamaican. And John Carlos was saying that hell, you blacker than I am. You know, what the hell you mean you're not black? See, the delineation from us has been going on for a long time. And John Carlos also says that once they got to Texas, the Jamaican started cozying up to the white coach. So he already knew there wasn't going to be any kind of, you know, camaraderie with him. And I understand exactly what, you know, how Sha'Carri feels. And like people was making an issue about her when she beat the two Jamaicans. I mean, if you saw this video, oh man, they were upset that she beat them. They had problems with that. You know, but like I told them, I remember back in the day, it didn't matter who won. Hell, we would just have to see a black person win. But now understanding that these folks have never, and they still don't want to have anything to do with us. You know, so I'm like, okay, no problem. But they only start trying to be vocal and wanting to be black when reparations became a hot issue. You see, but even with that, they have this thing called CARICOM, and we're not included, but they want to be included with us. You can't have it both ways. It's just not going to work that way. But I just wanted to share that, and I'll look for that video with John Carlos where he's dropping the info on the Jamaican and how he did not consider him. I can't think of his name, but he didn't consider himself black, and that seemed to be normative for all these these black immigrants. So I just want, and I'll land with that.
All right, thank you, Original. Up in the Jumbotron, I put the actual it was one article that I had that actually spoke about this is supposed to be it was an article about what happened a few days ago, 5 days ago. And I know I had tweeted it out, but I forgot. It says after violent Howard University Fight Club video, HBCU strengthens campus security. So you guys can check that out and see as well. But to my knowledge, they haven't mentioned the actual race of the people, but I'm assuming that the people must be black because nobody is saying anything to the contrary. So I'm assuming that the people must be black. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Not exactly sure. Like I say, it would be surprising to me that you have a 20, maybe 20, 30 white kids or white dudes run up on the damn black campus and not just get their head bust. I mean, that would be really, really surprising to me, especially down here in the deep South like that. You're not gonna run up on Fam and Bethune-Cookman and Southern and Jackson and stuff like that and just and just people just sit there and just take an ass whooping. Like that's just that's not gonna fly there. But let me go ahead and get to Carlos and let me get to the pundit after that as well too. Carlos, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, family? Long time no see. Peace to Newstoter and DJ and everybody in the room. Originally, I just wanted to. Can you hear me? I'm having a little connection issue.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my cousin. I wanted to speak about that Howard incident. My cousin lives in the area of Howard, and I spoke to her today, and she was saying from what she understands is that it was a bunch of white guys that attacked those students there at Howard. And, what people don't understand is just because it's an HBCU, that area where Howard sits has been heavily gentrified. She said this any time of the day you can just see white people walking their dog on campus. So it's been heavily gentrified. It's not like
so your people saying that the people were that they believe that the people were actually white folks that came running up in there jacking people up.
Right. From what she said, she's hearing they were white people that did that. So that like I said in the comment, I think it wasn't a coincidence. It was a strategic plan to do that. Just because we whipped ass down in Alabama doesn't mean, and that went viral, doesn't mean that they're not planning to get back in.
There has to be a security video of all this that went down. I mean, there has to be a security video of this fight these fights that escalated and everything else as well too. So somehow, some way, this video needs to go ahead and make it to the media because there's got to be on campus. There's not a campus now in America that doesn't have some kind of yeah. So they had to see this exactly what went on, what happened as well too. So I'm waiting to see this right here, Carlos. Thank you. I don't like I say the article didn't make mention of race or anything like that as well too. So I just assume that hey, just as a black man, just thinking like I just been at having a historically black college and just having a bunch of white cats just run up in there and then no other black people saw it or whatever. Like I don't know. It's just maybe a different mindset because like I say, places I know down here in the South or whatever, all hell would have broke loose, just to be honest.
Yeah, I can't hear. If you can't hear me, I can't hear, so I'm going to drop down.
Okay, Carlos, drop down because you must be having some technical issues. But shout out to Carlos for going ahead giving us that information as well too. If anybody ever, like I say, I put another article up in the Jumbotron, guys. Go ahead and click that. I put that article out some days ago. If you guys hear anything or heard anything about this situation, if you're up there in the DC area, you know anything about it or whatever, definitely go ahead and either if you don't want to actually get up here and actually speak, then at least leave something in the comments section and let us know exactly what's going on. I know everybody doesn't want to actually speak in the spaces and stuff like that, and I respect that. But if you know anything about that, you have any idea about the actual perpetrators, who they were or whatever, let us know, because I know only thing they said that it was a juvenile arrested that had a gun on him or whatever. So we don't know exactly what's what there, but definitely if you're up in that area, if you're up in the DMV area, you're up in DC, let us know exactly what's going on up there. Please let us know what's up. The pundit, I know you had your hand up. Did you want to go ahead and still speak?
Yeah, actually, I have. I went to Howard. 70s, so yeah, I'm kind of old. So it used to always be like a very open campus. You know, you could just be out there all hours of the night and not have to worry about anything. But there was incidents, of course, that happened. One of the things that I would piggyback off on what Carlos said is that, you know, it's like probably that is probably white folks. And, you know, I mean, I've been thinking about that incident, but I'm like thinking that I could have sworn it was like, you know, black people. It never entered my mind that it'd be like white folks, but it's a possibility. But there's been a problem like for a good couple of years with white folks coming on campus and having their dogs, you know, piss on the campus.
Yeah, I heard about that. Bringing their dogs up to crap on the campus and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that it can't be just one incident saying, and then all of a sudden now they have like 1,000 cameras on campus. I think they want to close the campus and make it not so open anymore. That's just my personal take on the incident, and so I think that would be a good idea, given that things have changed since I was there. I mean, I used to go like out on Saturday nights, go to the clubs on Georgia Ave, and nothing. But it's different world now. So that's my take.
All right, thank you, pundit. And you made you're definitely right about that. If it was getting to the point where you got people coming on there and starting stuff and attacking people and stabbing people, thankfully nobody got shot because they're saying that somebody had a gun or whatever. You know, yeah, you're gonna have to maybe change the way things are done up on the actual campus as well too. So I did hear that what you said too. You know, a year or two ago that you had white folks coming in on the campus and bringing their dogs. Like out of all the places you can go to take your damn dog to crap at, you got to find this actual university to come at and let your dog crap on the damn yard, on the lawn, and everything else. I mean, I'm sure you got hundreds of acres, thousands of acres that you could choose to go ahead and take your dog and let them relieve themselves. But no, let's go here on this actual college campus and let them go ahead and relieve themselves right there. So that's another thing in the country as well too. Like people care more about them, and I have nothing against animals, but people put more. They care more about an animal, a dog, than they do an actual person as well too. So thank you for bringing that back up because I forgot all about that nonsense. Like, yeah, we just gonna bring them here and then catch an attitude when people tell them not to bring the damn dog on campus and let them crap on the damn yard and whatnot.
Yeah, let me add this. Yeah, the yard is just sacred to us Howard students. You know, we have many memories of the yard, so, you know, for them to just come on and just, you know, like they don't care, you know, it gets personal, you know, so yeah, just adding that in.
Yeah, damn right. I don't blame you. Let you go to their university. Let that be the reverse. And you go out to their university and you bring a dog out there. You bring you a German Shepherd or a pit bull out there, a bulldog, and let them just go ahead and crap somewhere out there on a particular part of the field that they consider a yard, they consider sacred and whatever. You may get arrested. You may very well get arrested for coming out there. You're damn sure gonna get fined, but you may get arrested as well too. So thank you for adding that part as well too. Let me go ahead and get to original. He's back up in, guys. Like I said, anybody else that wants to speak, y'all see the topics that's up in the Jumbotron. We're going to go ahead and kick it to original. Before we kick it to original, guys, make sure the YouTube channel is up in the Jumbotron. The YouTube channel is up in the Jumbotron. I believe it is it's on the left-hand side, guys. It's the third on the left-hand side. If you have not already subscribed to the Newstoter YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. For all my people that's on YouTube, guys, make sure you go ahead and like tonight's broadcast. Make sure you leave a comment. You share it and also subscribe. Subscribe for anybody that sees this video. Make sure you subscribe to the actual Newstoter YouTube channel. For those that want to support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Once again, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. For those that do not have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. And we also want to get some of our folks up here to speak as well, too, guys. So feel free. I see we got some familiar faces up in the crowd as well too, so definitely feel free to come through and speak. Go ahead, Original, you got it.
Yeah, when I heard what Carlos said, see what this is. This is white folks' way of trying to invoke fear in us. Well, any white people that's listening in this room, or any white people that may hear this later on, if any of you try to attack me, I'll tell you right now, I am going to kill you.
Let's not say that for the space though, Original.
All right. But I put it this way, I am going to handle business, because I'm not going to sit up here and see if these were white folks. This was an ambush attack. That's what they've always done, is ambush attack us. If you look at that book, Negroes with Guns, you will see that these white people, this was Brother Robert F., I think his name was Robert F. Freeman. He was the NAACP president in North Carolina. And so what these white folks will come through the black community and want to attack them. So they decided that they arm themselves with guns. And there are some videos on this on YouTube as well. And so at one point, they was traveling somewhere and the policeman pulled them over. And then the police got out with their guns and they got out with their guns. And there was an old white boy with the police. He said, "Oh, what we gonna do now?" Said the Negroes got guns. You know, that has always been their MO when it came to us. They would do ambush attack. That's why I don't trust them now. And the black folks that hang around them, I don't trust them. So just be aware. I mean, try to have something on your person whereby you can defend yourself, because these people, they're incapable of changing. They inherently hate us, and that will never change. I don't care what they say or do. That will never change. And until, I don't know if you saw this video, Newstoter. It was a sister in the grocery store with his old white boy. He's coming after her. Sister took that stance and she knocked him down. I said, kudos to sister.
I didn't see that one.
That's trying to fight him.
Yeah, and she was disabled too, so she got out of her work. She gave him a right hand.
She dropped him? Actually dropped him?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
That was looking like Mayweather out there. You know what I'm saying? Everything. She blocked it, and she did the white cracker knife through his hand. She blocked the shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man,
He went down. DJ just gave a great commentary. He went down. And so, like I said, these people, we already know that they're crazy. There isn't any hope for them. But I tell people, always be ready, arm yourself, and make sure that, especially if you have young children, they're going to always try to attack, the young children and the women. So, I mean, these people are sick. Like I said, they're sick. There isn't any hope for them. And so they're going to continue this unless we do something to make them stop. But like I say, that is their MO. Because see, when they was over there in Montgomery, see, they just came out there. I thought they could just, jump on the brother. But didn't understand that there was others around that did not have an issue coming out to help defend the brother. And if you have young children, you have children in college, I'm not going to say what to get, but just make sure that they have something that they can protect themselves with, because these people, they are full-fledged crazy now. And I don't know if you heard, Newstoter, that when that went down in Montgomery, that song, Try This in a Small Town, it plummeted down the charts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Say it again, DJ. Yeah. And I was one of the people online saying, we didn't try it in a small town. We did it, you know. And so I just want people to know: have you something in your vehicle, something that you can keep on your person without violating the rules wherever you may work or whatever, you know. But have something where you can defend yourself. And if you may, and what you may want to start doing too is start. You can do calisthenics. Start doing push-ups. If you got if you have like a weight bench, you don't have to go to a gym to work out. I don't go to a gym. I got a weight bench in my basement. I have one of these.
Use some resistance bands too. If you don't want to lift weights, use some resistance bands.
Exactly. I have some of those too, but I have one of these pull-up bars that it hangs over my office. And trust me, using that pull-up bar, and see, I got the straps where you can do the leg lifts. There's things that you can do to start, you know, trying to prepare yourself, because these people are sick and they just going to try to ambush us. And so when a few of them get knocked the hell out of trying to ambush us, they're going to look a little differently at that point. Yeah, because we just need to start. I mean, a lot of us should be exercising anyway, but we just need to start, you know, get back into getting physically fit and being able to defend yourself. So like I said, what sister did, she came because she was riding in one of those, you know, the little cars that people.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
She was in one of those, and she got out. She got out the car. And she put this back.
Hey, this junkie had to be some kind of sorry if he let this sister get up out of one of them little carts right there and drop him. Like, wow.
Yeah, he was an old white guy, but she might have been in her maybe 50s or so or something like that. But whatever he did, he charged her, and she said, "Come on." She said, "I want you to hit me first, because when I knock the hell out of you, I ain't going to jail." I'm gonna land with that.
Oh boy. Yeah, send me that video, please. I gotta see this. And please, definitely find that video original and DM it to me so I can see this as well too. Because that.
Hey, check the purple chat right here. Shout out to Cashflow Harlem. His brother do his commentary raps is fire. So watch his video as he rapping about it and as actually going down. Real shit. It's right here in the chat.
Yeah, I definitely got to catch that one because I did not see that. So that's definitely a must see right there.
Hey, original and the other little sister that was filming the whole shit. When big sis knocked the old boy out. Little sis was like, "Yo, she told you stop fucking with her, yo." And all the
right.
You hear me? Well, she told you stop fucking with her. So, clean up our produce. Clean up in the produce aisle,
Oh boy, DJ, I know you was gonna say something too. I know you had your hand up, but maybe because
what you call it? Back to the Howard situation. Yeah. So a few years ago, y'all just spoke on this white dude who was from another country over in Europe. He just got here to America, living in D.C. up there in the northwest section near where Howard is at. He was walking his dog on the campus, but he said he didn't know that was the school campus. So he tried to argue with security, like, "Yo, get your dog off the campus. Oh, I'm living in this neighborhood. I should be respected." He made a big fuss about it, all this other shit. So yeah, close this campus off. Put a gate around it. You know what I'm saying? Put those cameras up if you got to do that. But y'all should have had that type of security, Howard. So this only lets you know that, hey, Kamala Harris and Jim Crow Joe, they lied to us again. They said they was going to get HBCUs funding and all this other stuff. And look what our students got to go through. Wound up dealing with having to worry about defending themselves while they try to educate themselves, man. Who the hell got time for that? You know what I'm saying? And then,
but real quick, DJ, how cost effective and how easy is that going to be to actually close to close off a college campus though?
Well, they got the money for it. Trust and believe it. It ain't much to put a gate around, the yard, and the security system might cost you some break. You know what I mean? But maybe not really. Maybe you could get a deal through the ring doorbell systems and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or just get some older security equipment that a company ain't using no more.
Because when I think about
that's gonna cost some bread, man.
Because when I think about the colleges here in Florida, when I think about say FAMU and the University of Florida and Florida State and Florida Atlantic and whatnot, some of these places and stuff like that, the campuses are, so big, and even the HBCUs, it's so open and stuff like that. I just don't know, like, how can you really, like, close it off? How can you really keep the public from off of there like that? That's the only thing I'm just trying to figure out.
Howard's not that big. Howard's only I mean, it's a big school, but it ain't as big as most schools or collegiate universities. I walked around Howard before. It's not that big compared to some schools I've been around here in New Jersey, like Seton Hall.
Yeah, well, I know Seton Hall and Rutgers and them are gonna be much larger and bigger than that, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, that's a lot to have to try to enclose in and stuff like that. But we'll see how that goes.
They always claim they don't have the funding for stuff like that anyway. So how the hell they gonna get the money up? So let's start there. See what I'm saying?
You talk about for the cameras and stuff like that, because they talk about putting a
security gate, metal gates and shit. Obviously you're gonna have to hire a third party fence company, contractors. You know what I mean? And then same thing with the security company. But what I don't understand is, right, what are all these so-called alumni that graduated from Howard that do got the skills and actually own these type of companies now, a fencing company or some type of contracting company, and they own surveillance type companies. I know regular Joes that got surveillance companies that probably didn't even go to an HBCU or let alone college, but they got the education. You see what I'm saying? I know how to install security cameras. That shit's not hard. So it's like, why ain't y'all already had this shit in the first place? See what I'm saying?
See, now I know in the article they said that they're going to install over 1,000 cameras and implement safety paths where students will have access to a security officer within 100 feet. So I don't think they're realistically talking about trying to close the campus off. They talk about these safety paths. I'm not exactly sure what exactly a safety path is, how it looks, and what it's supposed to be, whatever. But they talk about having a security officer within 100 feet. I would like to see the actual blueprint on how this is going to look as well too.
Well, with that being said, again, as the article stated, the security guard stood around and didn't do anything. So these top flight security third party specialists, they're not going to stop no mob or stop somebody with a pistol that's coming up on campus. And just to quote Brother Ray again, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they ain't gonna stop a criminal from coming up there with his gun or their gun and causing a ruckus and terrorizing students. So it's like, damn, I got to worry about not just my safety, my education, but my safety as well, when I'm supposed to already have that in the mix. But it just goes to show you, hey, no matter where you at, keep your eye on your 12, 3, 6, and your 9. There you go.
To your knowledge, can the actual because I know in Florida at one time, I know Jeb Bush, he was a governor. He had gave jurisdiction to even the campus police to be able to actually arrest people as well too. Does Howard campus police have that kind of jurisdiction? Do they have that kind of authority, to your knowledge?
Shit, if they don't, that's sad, because even up here, Rutgers got their own police, which is connected to I believe Brunswick Police Department, or maybe the state troopers or something like that, or whatever the county sheriff may be. So they be rolling around. Same thing over here with New Jersey Transit. You put your hands on a bus driver, train operator, 10 years minimum, $250,000 fine. Yo, you're not playing.
Yeah, because when Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida, he gave authority to the campus police. He gave authority to all kind of different, like just secondary policemen to go ahead. He gave them authority to arrest people as well too. So I definitely you're right with the situation that happened at Howard. If what the actually students are saying is true, that hey, while we was getting our behinds, what the actual security guards didn't try to jump in, they didn't try to break it up, they didn't try to stop it, they didn't try to do anything. They said the people talk about it, they actually looked and walked away or whatever. So says when I was on the ground getting stumped out, let me see if I can find that one part where the dude said he says he got stabbed in the back and he just got beat on by 30 people, him by himself, and security looked at him on the ground, watched his body go limp, and just walked away. Didn't call anybody, didn't do anything. A witness recalled. So if that's true, and like I said, this is what this witness is saying. So I don't know if it's true, but if that is true, that they saw a gang of people jumping on a person, doing this and doing that, for all they could have beat them to death out there. And the fact of the matter that they didn't even call. Why wouldn't you call regular law enforcement if you're not going to do anything? Why not call regular law enforcement to go ahead and have them, bringing the cavalry or something. Hey, it's a major development happening at Howard University. We got a gang of people down here that's attacking our students, just beating on them and this and that or whatever. We need some backup. We need some help. Like, what's up with that?
Right. So even with that being said, hey, check the background of the security guard. What's your ethnic background? And obviously, hey, what you in on it? There you go.
Go ahead, original. I see you came back up here. You got it.
Yeah, there was an issue. It was in the news here. It's been about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. There was this white guy. He was a gay white guy, and they were doing some kind of he was doing something on campus at Georgia Tech, and so whatever he was doing, he started acting all crazy and stuff, and they shot his ass and killed him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Georgia Tech, as well as I don't know about the schools at the over here at Atlanta University Center, where you got Morehouse, Spelman, and Clark, and Morris Brown. But I think Georgia Tech and Georgia State, because they are like, I think they are considered like a governmental agency. So they have the authority to arrest people within the vicinity of those schools. I don't know how far outside, if they see someone doing something, reckless, that they can approach them or whatever. But within the vicinity of those schools, because some of those streets, they're like considered like off campus. But some of the students in these areas, they live in like apartments and things or houses that are off campus. And so, so I just want to put that out there because if the security guard stood there and watched this student get jumped like that, I hope that student, as well as his parents, sue the school, because they are responsible for our children's safety when they attend these schools. And if that security guard did that, oh no, he needs to be fired. He or she needs to be fired, and school needs to be sued. So that the students are not are protected. Because these people, like I say, these people are sick. There's something wrong with them, and if people can't see that, then there's something wrong with you too. So I just want to share that, because I don't know because we have like Emory down here, they're big, and who else we got down here? There's a few other schools, but I think the state schools. I don't know about the what they call the private school, but I think the state schools, their police officers do have that authority to arrest people within the vicinity, and so and I think to a certain extent outside of that campus, they can stop them, give them a ticket or whatever. And yeah, but I just hope that that student is okay, and I hope the student and their parents do that school and make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else again. And I'll land with that.
Thank you, original. I see Stephanie came back up here. Stephanie, what's up? What's up? Let's see if we can get some other speakers up here as well, too, guys. We want to get some other speakers up here because we ain't gonna keep the space long. We're gonna keep it as long as you guys want us to. We don't stay open, we don't stay long that long anyway. So we definitely we gonna keep it going too much longer if our people are not gonna come up here and speak as well. So Stephanie, you got it.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that give you a reminder that a few months ago, an article came out about Howard University. The white students that currently attend Howard, they're screaming discrimination against them because they're white, and they requested their own separate dormitory. So, I find that to be a little bit condescending, because that's the school you chose to go to. And on top of that, it's a predominantly black school. So what did you expect when you went into Howard? And I'm sure that what they felt was discrimination was actually not discrimination. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I know was it Howard? It was somebody. I remember it was a lawsuit against one of these HBCUs as well too. I remember one white student. He filed a lawsuit that I can remember. He was talking about he was being discriminated against as well too. But here's the thing: if any one of our kids go to Princeton or anything like that, if our kids go to Princeton, they better not open their mouth talk about they better get their own dorm. I mean, they even say something like that, they're gonna go ahead and laugh you up out of the school. If you sit up there and talk about, well, we deserve to have our own dorm, they go to, okay, well, let us go and escort you to your dorm, and they're gonna escort you right outside and tell you to go ahead and get the hell up off their campus. So if he was that stupid to sit up there and talk about he should have his own dorm, then I don't know what they talk about. I don't know what the hell they talking about. You get no own dorm, and not only that, but a lot of these HBCUs too. Let's be honest, they get money for having a variety of students on these campuses as well too. They get money for having white students there. They get money for having Asians and Latinos and everybody else as well too on these campuses and stuff like that. So, and not only that, I'm sure they get their tuition and everything else. There's all kind of scholarships and all kind of programs available to these white students to come to these HBCUs as well too. So they're getting they're getting their education covered for it, and they're getting all kind of back end deals in the background as well too. So they can't sit up here and complain and talk about they're being discriminated against. And the only reason we have HBCUs because at the time, and I know DJ, you mentioned that I know you were saying 10 out of how many hundred ever was actually built by black people, but nonetheless, they were the only place that black people could go to. But you wouldn't have any HBCUs if actual white folks allowed you to actually go to school with them back then. They didn't want you going to school with them. So that's why HBCUs, were built. You weren't going to go to school with these white people back in 1888. Now, I know you had some black people later on and stuff that went and whatnot, but here in the South, especially where most of the HBCs are at, you were not going to be going to Ole Miss in the 1880s. You're not going to be going to LSU in the 1880s. You're not going to be going to the University of Georgia, the University of Florida. You're not going to be going to the University of Texas. You're not going to be going to any of these places back then. So these HBCUs had to be created because there was no other place that black people could actually go and get a higher education at. So when everybody, because I've heard white people say a number of times that HBCUs are, what would happen if white people had a white college and this and that? Like, well, you have them. You just don't have to call them white colleges or white universities. They were founded for you. It took forever for black people to actually be allowed to be enrolled in them and everything else. And you're the reason why you have HBCUs. I mean, because let's be for real, you did not want black folks attending college with you. So let's stop the nonsense here. Go ahead and let me give a shout out to my sister Rera. I don't see her up in the space, but she did donate on Cash App. So Rera, shout out to you, sister. I don't see you up in the space tonight, but as always, thank you, sister. Appreciate it. And anybody else that wants to donate on Cash App, $, Newstoter, $, Newstoter. If you don't have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. Remember, Newstoter is the largest black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. We keep the news coming. We keep it cranking out. Make sure you visit newstoter.com daily as well, too. I got to go ahead and try to get this Google Analytics thing because they switched over and I'm having a hard time with this damn thing, the migration and whatnot. So I don't even know how much traffic is actually coming on the site. It stopped collecting traffic for about a week or two or something like that. So I absolutely have no idea how much traffic is coming on the site. Got to go ahead and get this thing figured out as well, too. So shout out to anybody in this space that visits newstoter.com daily. It is the leading curation platform in Black America today. It keeps you up to date on content. So definitely, guys, if you want to stay up to date, definitely visit newstoter.com. We are the curator. Let me go ahead and get to original.
So I wanted to ask you, did you see this post that was out there? They had Morgan Freeman. He's from some part of Mississippi, but it had Morgan Freeman out there dressed up like that Confederate mascot at Ole Miss. And see what gets me is this. It has been Morgan Freeman, and what's that guy? He's an NBA player, Draymond Green. I'm beginning to see some of these stupid black folks. They are saying that we should get rid of Black History Month.
Yeah, I heard Morgan Freeman say that, but was that an old video he said that in, or was that something new?
He still says it now. But see, when I saw that image of him with this, he was dressed up like that little Confederate guy for Ole Miss. And I'm like, okay, so you want us to get rid of Black History Month, but you out here parading around like a damn fool. You know, as if
Now, did Morgan actually original? Was this Photoshop? Did he actually have on what you're saying? He had on the Confederate color, like he was dressed like the rebel.
he had the suit. It didn't look Photoshop to me. It could have been, but he was dressed up in this red suit. I think he had this hat on, and they showed a side by side where he was representing this this Confederate character. I'll put it this way: if it is true that he dressed up like that, then that shows just how sick he is. And just like this guy, Draymond Green, where he was saying we should get rid of Black History Month. And so I'm like, you know, what I said to him, I said, well, are you aware that Dr. Carter G. Woodson, he started this because our history wasn't being talked about. And he wanted to make sure that we knew who we were. And because how he said that we were miseducated. Because it started out as Black History Week, and then it morphed into Black History Month. But, you know, you get a lot of people, they get an attitude and say, well, why do you have Black History Month? I said, okay, are you going to get rid of Hispanic History Month, Asian History Month, and whatever others are out there? No one has an issue with any of these months except for Black History Month. And that's what gets me. And then when you get some silly people out here, because that old Draymond Green, people just lick him up real bad. They told him, well, you know, you can do that in your home, but this is ours, and we're not giving it up. You know, and some people don't understand because, see, Dr. Woodson, he selected February, because some people will say, well, we have Black History Month in the shortest month of the year. Well, Dr. Woodson chose February because both Frederick Douglass and Lincoln's birthday are in February. That's why he chose February. And so, but some people don't understand. It's like, well, why don't we celebrate the whole? You can celebrate the whole year. It's just that in February, that's when you have all your festivals or whatever you want to have, right? And so, but I mean, it's like they're making up excuses, trying to justify not having Black History Month. And so when when that was said, I just thought about that, about, you know, the students, the white students. Yeah, but I heard that too about the white students trying to say that they were discriminated against at Howard. I would say those are nothing but ops. That they're going in there because, see what Stephanie said. Stephanie, someone was a DJ or somebody else said earlier. These white folks that live in that area, like they said, they're going on campus, allowing their mangy dogs to relieve themselves. And even one of them said he was way he looked like a gay white guy, the way he was dressed and stuff. He said, well, why don't y'all move to campus? You know, and so I think that they're setting themselves up by going out here trying to recruit these white students. Because and oftentimes, from what I hear, I don't know if it's true or not, they say some of these white students get amenities that the Black students don't get. So I don't know how true that is, but I think that people need to understand that, you know, you can't invite your enemy in a home and expect them to act right. Because I was listening to some Howard was started. It was primarily for those mulatto children that the rapists wanted the children to be educated, and said that I gotta do a little bit more research, but they said that was why Howard actually was started. It was started for those mulatto children to attend, you know, college. From what I've heard from some little Mississippi, some stuff, you know. But I just want to say that people, but I want to implore to everybody, start exercising, do some kind of strength training where you can, you know, build strength in your arms, and so that you can protect yourself. And I'm gonna look for the. I just found that video of the sister. I'll inbox it to you, but I want to see the one that DJ talked about, where he said that somebody did a play-by-play analysis of what went down, and I'll land with that.
All right. Thank you, Original, as always. Let me go ahead and get it to DJ. Go ahead, DJ.
No, we all saying the same thing, though. That's what's up. So yeah, I don't know what Howard's really going to do on the long end, because at the end of the day, this is another problem or issue of a long line of issues that Howard's been having lately over the course of maybe a decade or whatever the case be. Again, you got random white folks that just got to this country coming up on campus, letting their dog poop all over the lawn or the yard, as they call it. You know what I mean? And then you got the asbestos problem, building maintenance issues, security guards. These security guards only get hired for a job to get paid. They're not there to protect nobody. That's crazy that we would even think that just because you see a security guard there, especially one that's not armed, you feel what I'm saying, with a source license, you feel me, that you assume that they're going to protect you. So obviously, parents, this is something you should be thinking about when you're sending your kid away to school, work, whatever the case be. Matter of fact, I can't think of the man's name right now off the top of the head, but it was I think he's from like India or something like that, or some other native country similar. So he's was supposed to have been working at Netflix as he just got hired or whatever. He wound up going missing. He's originally from New York or whatever the case be, flew to California to work with Netflix in their corporate office. He only went to work like one day, and after that he ain't been seen yet. So he missing. You see what I'm saying? And this kid is only like 22 years old. So how you send your kid halfway across the country, all the way across the country, excuse me, to work at a corporation when you ain't keeping ties on them like that. And obviously you ain't got no family, no friends out in California, or your family is in New York. So it's like, these are the type of things we got to start thinking about, y'all. And obviously, back to the 10-year-old and the rest of paying that cop need his ass whooped. Shout out to the captain or the sheriff for firing his ass, but that ain't gonna stop him from getting it or obtaining another job at another police department. So we need to start keeping tabs on these particular police that do things like that. And when they try to go get a job somewhere else, maybe that other newer police department didn't hear of this former cops or a situation of what he did to this 10-year-old kid. So we need to start shaming these people. And back to Sha'Carri Richardson. Yeah, she can celebrate. We shouldn't get sued too much because the Olympics is coming up. So yeah, we celebrate our little wins that we have now. Let her bask in her glory. But hey, the real argument is the Olympics. It doesn't matter. The world is okay. Yeah, you're the champion for the rest of the winter all the way up until spring next year. But at the end of the day, these Jamaicans, y'all are haters, yo. Y'all haters, man. For sure. Y'all have been doing everything in your power to badmouth Sha'Carri, talk about her, down her, say all anti-American things about her. She on drugs. You know what I mean? Oh, don't blame your mother's death for you losing. Oh, look at Sha'Carri, she lost again. Oh, take that color weave out your hair. All this other shit, except celebrating her wins and losses. And yeah, so what? She got a mouthpiece on it. Don't everybody else? You know what I'm saying? So like you said, whoever said it, hey, we was just happy that you was a black person that won. We ain't care where you from. But like I tell these jokers up here, hey, look, there ain't no such thing as all black because you're from post Civil War. So if your ass happened to have been in Jamaica after the Civil War was over here in America, guess what? Your ass is Jamaican. If you happen to have been in Haiti, you're Haitian. You've been in America, you're American. You over in Europe somewhere, you're Britain. That's what you are. Moving forward, that's whatever landmass you were on. That's what you are. Because there ain't no such thing as it's just white and black. We deal with demographic and geographic location. So at the end of the day, Team USA, you go online right now. We've been winning these medals. Matter of fact, let's not forget too. I know we're celebrating our sister Sha'Carri, but let's pick up the avatar. Noah Lyles, he animal status, just one goal too, and he about to go take everything come 2024. Let's go. So when, like Noah Lyles said, when was the last time you seen an American win? Go get first in 100 meter, men and women. I think that might be a first right there, yo. So yeah, let's celebrate our wins. Go black people. Go black American neighborhoods. There you go. Yay.
Well, it ain't a first, but it's been a while since we've done it because we used to do it with pretty regular, but it's been a little minute since we've done it. I don't know if you probably may have to go back to what maybe the '88 Olympics or something. I don't know about 2000, but I would think maybe I know in the '88. Even though Ben Johnson he won, but he was technically he got disqualified because he was on steroids. So Carl Lewis won in '88, and Flojo, of course, in '88. She was the one in the 100. So it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. I'll definitely say that. A shout out.
Speaking of FloJo, real quick too. If you go back and watch Sha'Carri's 100-meter world race right here, if she would have just kept running, even though she already knew she won, so she celebrated her. This is why the coaches always tell you, finish the race. She could have broke FloJo's record because FloJo, if I'm not mistaken, her record is 10.61.
Nah, Flojo record is 10.49. She wouldn't have broke it still.
I thought it was 10.61 or something like
Nah.
that. That record gonna be ours forever, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, though. Go ahead.
That record is over 30-some years old, and you've had some people that got, I think, in the 10 in the low 10.6, and I don't know if you got somebody got in the 10. I think Elaine might have gotten the 10.5 something, but it's been around 30-some odd years, man. It's a hard record to break.
Right, but Elaine Thompson Harrah, she broke one of FloJo's records. I'm not sure what event it was, but that was just in this past Olympics that just went past a couple years ago. She broke one of FloJo's record. Could have been like the 200 or something like that. But I'll check it in a minute.
Yeah, but that 100-meter, it ain't that 100-meter. But she may have broke because FloJo, I think she was a world record holder in the 200 as well. But Elaine could have broke the Olympic record or there's so many different records and stuff like that. But I know FloJo still has the 100-meter record. The 200, I'm not entirely sure about, but she still has that 100-meter record. So that 100-meter record, man, that's gonna be that like I said, that record that record's been around since I was in elementary school because I'm in my 40s now. So like that record's been around for a minute. Like it's gonna be hard to break that record straight up. Let me give a shout out to the Liquor Store Music Group. Thank you to Governor and the Music Store for their contribution on Venmo. I'll say another record that's hard to break, and he's not American, but that's Usain Bolt. That record he has in the 100-meter is damn hard to break right there. So I mean, it's gonna take a minute for somebody to break that record because I forgot what he had a ridiculous record that to put it into to what I'm actually saying, that I believe Usain ran a 10.5 something or some ridiculous. I mean, I'm not 10. What am I talking? 10, a 9.5 something or something like that. To put it in perspective, when Ben Johnson in '88 broke the world record at the time, he ran something like a 9.79, and he was on steroids. So you're saying that Usain Bolt is much faster than him, and he's never tested positive for steroids. So that's the kind of like to actually break that record, man. You're gonna actually really, really have to come for it. Let me go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just about to say, let me go ahead and get to Stephanie. Go ahead, Stephanie.
If I'm not mistaken, Noah Lyles already broke one of Usain Bolt's records, and also that was Michael Johnson's record that Usain Bolt broke. So
yeah, he broke his record in the 200.
Oh, it's in the 200.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, because Michael Johnson didn't run in the 100, but in the 100. Nobody's come close to breaking Usain Bolt's record right now.
Okay, well, Noah Lyles is. That's all I'm going to tell you. And DJ, I just wanted to touch up on what you were saying about the comments, because now they're saying that they're using FloJo's legacy to tarnish Sha'Carri Richardson with. I think it's disgusting. I don't know if you've seen the comments where they're saying, oh, she sucked up FloJo's bones to get strength like that. She might be on drugs. Now they're saying she's Jamaican now, so I don't know. I mean, it's just all over the place. But yeah, they're going after our legend FloJo. So this is beyond disrespect, and it does need to be called out. So the xenophobia is real. Rella, how come you're not speaking?
Rella could be at work too, so I see she requested to come up. I know she works at nighttime too, but shout out to Rella. She's getting ready to come up now. So
It's Rella Trippers. You right? How you doing, everybody? Hey y'all. How you guys doing? Hey Newstoter.
Hey, what's
Hey
up,
everybody.
Rella?
So I just been sitting back kind of listening, really chilling and, kind of just taking my time with stuff. But I'm so proud of Sha'Carri. We might not be at the Olympics yet, and I think the world meets is highly important, especially because of how she was treated, not just by the media, but by even people here in our own country. Because I remember, what's the name that Nike had dropped. Nike had dropped her because she ended up having a baby. What's her name? Or yes, Allison Felix, and people pretty much turned their back on her, on Sha'Carri. I remember the Jamaicans and the other melanated people after the meet walked right past her and were laughing at her and everything, and they didn't feel no ways about it, and they weren't embracing her like, hey, it's okay, you're gonna get this, this is a competitive sport, but at the end of the day, we are runners. However, at the press conference, it's we all here and doing X, Y, and Z, trying to make it a kumbaya moment, and all of a sudden they want to hug on her, and I'm just like, it's very interesting. And so then you look at the media, they're mad because she ignored them, which I think she was rightfully so in doing. She was representing herself. She was representing her family. She was also representing her culture, and she did it in a very, very beautiful way. She fought back just like a phoenix, and I'm glad she didn't give the white media any type of clickbaits or ways for them to make money off of her likeness, because they didn't deserve it. And I do agree with the original that a lot of these athletes need to start doing the same thing. Take back your power. Your power is in your presence, in your image, and the only way they can get it is if you give it to them. If they disrespect you once, they'll do it again, and you need to teach them a lesson. You can't make no money without me. And I think it should be the same with the Jamaicans or anyone from any other cultures, because at the end of the day, even the white runners are now starting to like, I don't know who they training with, but ain't nobody questioning whether or not they on drugs or nothing like that. Nobody's worried about Germany or any of those other countries now that are getting up on tilt, trying to come into the limelight. I think America and American runners have done a hell of a job at setting the stage of what I think the collegiate level for athletes, what they look like. We've always done it, from Jesse Owens all the way down, and Arthur Ashe, to all of the greats. And so I think that we should applaud ourselves for producing some of the world's best athletes. And other people are now, and have been always trying to beat the Black American. They've always had, in all sports. When it comes to Olympics and to world trials, and even our state meets. So the Howard University students being beaten, I posted the video down. I've sent it to you, DJ, to see if you wanted to play it, but it was brutal to watch. It was very brutal to watch. Now, we don't know if those are Black Americans or what. And for that guy to be talking about that he wants the university to be moved because of what happened. They don't say that when the white students riot and burn down the town after any athletic games from the PWI schools, but all of a sudden now you want Howard University to move. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. And then the 10-year-old who was arrested, that was to me the most... It's like they never seems to amaze us how they top how much they can actually abuse us. But like how far are they willing to go? If you ask me, that they'd probably put a 2-month-old baby in handcuffs if they could. If they could. I mean, I saw a police officer kneeling on a pregnant woman's stomach and didn't give a care. So at the end of the day, to me, that's the most heinous and most ugliest thing people can do. And we have to start suing their bonds. We need to start going after the police departments. And also, if the judges are allowing these things to happen, we need to start getting sanctions for them to be impeached. And that just, it's awareness, I think, at this point.
Thank you, Rella. Appreciate it. Glad to hear from you. It's been a little minute. I know you be working and stuff at nighttime, but I'm glad to hear from you. Definitely always glad to hear what you got to say. You go ahead and see anybody else that wants to. And Rella, she says she's DJ. She sent you the video. Rella, how long is the video?
Yeah, it's not that long.
DJ, you want to? I don't know if DJ there. DJ, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What video?
She must have DM'd it to you.
It's in the chat and the DM.
You get a chance, DJ, play that video. And Rella, you said you couldn't make out if the people were actually black or not.
No, you could, and you just couldn't make out who they were, if they were Black American or what, but they were black.
Okay, so they were black. Like I say, it never. I mean, you can find a Negro to go out there. You pay him enough, you can find a Negro dumbass to do some stuff like that as well too. So I don't know where these Negroes came from right here, but DJ, when you get a chance, definitely put.
Give me a minute. It's one of these pages that got a lot of ads on it. Hold on.
Okay. They had nothing else better to do than come out there to the university and start jumping on people. Like, wow. Nothing else better to do with their time. But everybody up in the space, make sure you guys retweet the space out. We say it all the time, and we get some likes, but we need some retweets. Start retweeting the space out, and we definitely need to go ahead and get some retweets up in here as well too. It's definitely nice for people to like it, but go ahead and retweet it out, especially if you're in the space. All you got to do, you see the little button down there in the actual space, the little share icon. All you got to do is click where it says share via post and just go ahead and tweet it out. And that would be greatly appreciated as well too.
Yeah, don't just like it and retweet it. Hit the quote retweet. It should be 3 things you should do when you come into a space. Like, retweet, and quote the retweet. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's check this out.
All right.
This student considering legal action after attack at Howard University.
Howard University student who wishes to keep his identity private for his safety recounted the vicious attack that left him beaten, bloodied, and bruised. A large group of young people ambushed him and other classmates outside a residence hall last week. Since the attack, the Howard Jr. says he suffered both physically and emotionally. According to a police report obtained by News 4, the student also had his keys, Air Jordan shoes, and iPhone stolen.
I had a concussion. I had bruises on my face, my eyes, cuts on my arms, and also just like my mental has been, it's been getting better, but that's also been affected from the experience.
The student is now back at home with his mom, who also explained the trauma she suffered since hearing about what happened.
I couldn't stomach this whole thing, and I just felt like I was shocked. I was in disbelief.
Orlando Shepard represents the family. He says he's reached out to Howard University to work out some arrangements so his client's education and housing is not interrupted. But Shepard says Howard has not provided clear options yet, and he's considering legal action.
Howard University, I mean, they are ultimately responsible for providing a safe premises for their invitees and their students. Anyone who's lawfully allowed to be there, they're responsible for ensuring that it's reasonably safe for the people to be there and ensuring that they have adequate security measures in place.
In a statement, Howard University says while the university does not comment on potential litigation and has an obligation to protect the privacy of any students involved, we are aware of reported acts of violence that have occurred around campus, and upholding the safety and well-being of every Howard University student remains our top priority. Right now, the student, along with his family and attorney, want to ensure that this type of incident doesn't happen to any students in the future.
It's very unfortunate that something like this has happened to me, but I will say it did like raise awareness, meaning that like if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone.
In the district, Dominique Moody, News 4.
The student's attorney says that he's also considering legal action against Allied Universal, the third-party security company used by the university. News 4 reached out to Allied Universal, who said in a statement, quote, "We do not comment on alleged or pending litigation."
Yeah, it's gonna be it's.
Let me say this just real quick. So the security guard did come up there, and he was, I guess, that's what you call trying to tell people to chill. Nah, it's one man getting jumped by several other men, so it's like you got to just go jump on him and just take the hits too, a little something. So you wouldn't care about protecting, because all that, hey, just break it up. That shit ain't working. Look what these kids doing to this one student. They jumping, man. Come on, man. So it's like these third-party security companies, they don't got no training. And remember, if you're, like I said, I had somewhat of a similar situation where I had to actually defend myself against a female customer. And the third-party security guard came out and pretty much sided with the female customer because they was a female. You feel what I'm saying? And I wound up losing my job for that. But hold up a minute. I don't got to listen to the security guard, even though I was exonerated of any wrongdoing because it was caught on tape. You see what I'm saying? But I still lost my job because they said I didn't listen to the security guard. Well, hold on a minute, Mr. White Manager. I don't have to listen to the security guard. They are third-party hired by Home Depot. They got to listen to me, even if I'm the new guy. That's common retail right there, yo. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be some kind of lawsuit that stems from all of this stuff that went down too. So just wait and see. I don't know how much they're gonna get from the actual security, people or whatever, but Howard's gonna have to pay up a little something about what happened as well too. So I said we got governor up here. Let me go ahead and get the governor, Stephanie, then I'll get to you.
What's going on, Newstoter? What up, DJ?
What's up, Governor?
Hey, Governor.
I see you down there, real quiet. I see you. I love you anyway. All right. So you said this kid, right? He goes to Howard, and are you saying like locals jumped him?
That's what they said. That's what they're trying to say in the article. It was locals.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, that's what it looked like. You know what I mean? Just some randoms came up there, but who knows, man? Who knows, bro? Could have been.
Hey, that shit happens. But see, it's only triggered by two things: women and close proximity. He was probably at that 9:30 club, set a couple of guys off, tracked him back to his dorm room, right there on 6, tightened his ass up, took his retro Jordans. I mean, you're talking about a school that sits in the middle of the city, sits right there on Georgia Avenue. And, you know, in the last space that I was in Newstoter, I used to be on Gresham, right by the soccer field. And that's why I would, you know what I'm saying, bag up the forums. It's DC, you know what I'm saying? And as far as Allied Security, that is the cheapest security company in DC. They ain't got no guns. They ain't got no mates. It's just a bunch of old women with flashlights and what do you call them things? Fucking notebooks. That's it. What they gonna do? What they gonna do when them goons from Clifton Terrace come over there? They ain't gonna do nothing. This is Howard's fault. And if anybody finds out if he was, you know what I'm saying, if he was hollering at the local girls in the neighborhoods and things like that, and he's like, oh, gosh, you know, he was doing all that, if he was being braggadocious, yeah, he caught a couple lumps. That's probably why he don't want nobody to know who he is.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He probably don't want nobody to know who he is, Governor, because he probably might be scared that they might come back and whoop on him some more. So that could be a reason too. He don't want anybody to know who he is.
These black kids, they ain't watching TV like that. They ain't watching TV. Ain't nobody worried about him. He probably just want people to see his face because he wants to go back out into the streets and continue to do what he do.
So, Governor, you saying that you think that this could have been just one of those instances where Cat went to the club, he was getting his mac on with some chicks or whatever. Some of the locals took it the wrong way, and it just escalated and went back to the actual campus. Because it sounded like from what they said, the amount of people, you hear a bunch of different numbers. I hear some people talk about it was as many as 20 people, 30 people, 10 people. So it sounded like there's a whole bunch of people that actually went back to the damn campus.
It could have been an on-campus party where the locals come over. It could have been at the carry-out, at the corner of Gresham and Georgia.
Could have said something downtown at the Verizon Center. Could have popped off, you know what I'm saying, and walked right back up the street.
Governor, and because I know you in that area, is this something that's has this happened before in the past where you've had instances like that on Howard University?
Yeah, where guys get tuned up, they creep into the city. Yeah.
Okay, so this ain't like some rare incident that ever happened before or whatever then, huh?
No, it's just made public. It's just been made public.
Hey, bro, we used to do the same thing up here in Jersey. We in college, we had the party, we had the college parties and shit. You know what I'm saying? My man's in them DJing let us in the door, son. Some of us sometimes was way older than college kids that certain parties we going to when we up here. Fight break out, we fighting with the college kids now. It be like that, yo.
Yeah, you just caught that fade. It sounds like
he lost that fade.
Yeah, he caught that fade. You know what I'm saying? He fell on, you know what I'm saying, them niggas fist about 30 times. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shit happens.
One dude was hitting him with a wet floor sign. You know them tall, spare like wet floor signs and shit. You know what I'm saying?
See, that tells me right there that he had to say something. If you get a beating like that to the ninth power, something had to transpire between you and the individuals that, you know what I'm saying, tuned your ass up. You know that Newstoter.
Well, Governor, it seemed like a couple of them got touched up in there as well too. Like he took the brunt of it. I guess he took the brunt of it, but you had a couple other ones that got touched up pretty decent. I don't know if they was his homeboys or just regular students or whatever, but a couple of them got touched up as well too.
Hey man, you know, fate is open to everybody.
That's true. I mean, unfortunately, that's true. Like.
And salute to Sha'Carri Richardson, you know what I'm saying? She won the race. You know, that was good to see, you know. It's good to see, you know, her get her, you know, her roses. Even on the back end of all the other stuff that they were trying to say about her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if she can run, she can run. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody hating on that. Ain't nobody hating on her lifestyle either. But I'm glad she took that weave out and she went back to the braids. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Because that was probably what was slowing her down with that goddamn wig. Ain't nobody want to say nothing about that wig, but that's probably what was slowing her down.
Hey, but you had people on you had people online talking about when she took that hair out and stuff like that, that you know that she went to her natural look and stuff. You had people online talking about that she started performing better and whatnot as well. Like,
yeah, she wasn't aerodynamic with them green wigs and shit. You know what I'm saying? But when she slicked all that hair back,
the Yaki didn't have a kid on her.
But Governor, didn't Flojo had like a head full of hair out there as well too, though, didn't she?
Yeah, but see, that was her power. You know what I'm saying? It probably was her natural head. You know what I'm saying? That's her mane. So you know, it's different from, you know what I'm saying, a wig. You know what I'm saying? When you got that 16-inch Remy, You know what I'm saying? It ain't doing nothing for you. Got the glue,
Jackie Gang,
remember they got to glue the shit in.
Remy
You know what I'm
Gang.
saying? That's extra weight. The glue is extra weight. The knit cap is extra weight. And then them thick ass cornrows up under the wig. She wasn't aerodynamic enough.
But the Jamaicans wear wigs.
Yeah,
That's
but
all
they run barefooted in their country. They got that foot bottom. What you know about the Jamaican foot bottom? You know what I'm saying? What you know, the hardest substance on earth next to Barbados.
Hey, they run barefoot. Hey, they run barefoot over here in America, depending on what.
Word up, walk around barefoot. There be glass and crack needles all in the street. They walk
Right.
around barefoot, getting the energy from the earth. See that? They naturally get.
But I'm saying, DJ, they run barefoot over here, be in the country and whatnot. They run barefoot and stuff, like right here in America too.
What shoes, man? No, take nobody try mine. No, man. We know no shoes to run, girl.
Well, you know that the Jamaicans, when they braid hair, they braid it to the scalp. They do real small braids, right? So, you know what I'm saying? That's all she had was a puffy scalp. But when she had the wig and the wig on, it was just tighter. I ain't making no excuses for no Jamaicans. But I'm just saying. Sha'Carri wasn't aerodynamic enough, you know what I'm saying, with the wig on.
But when she was running in school, that's how she won. She had wigs on when she was winning in school too. When we first were introduced to her, she was in her wigs. I don't think it's the wigs. I think she was going through something at the time. She was dealing with stuff, and her mom was ill.
Okay, did she switch from Adidas to Nike?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think she just personally, she had to dig down deep. And she had to get back focused, and she changed up her team. I think she was under a different training coach too. So overall, her look now versus her, weave or wig, it don't matter. I think it really is her mindset. She could run bald headed, and she still would be good at the mindset she's in right now.
I bet you when she ran bald headed, she did that for 5 seconds.
You know what? Every time I get y'all in, I take a whole goddamn hour. You can't do nothing. See them original. Give them an inch, they take a whole damn mile.
Hey, knocking jokes, bro. What you gonna do about it, yo?
Hey, Stephanie, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Move the fuck back.
I just wanted to say right behind the governors, being that I'm an old lady that worked for Allied Universal. If you look at their history and do the research, they used to be called FJC Security. Okay, and I worked with them for 22 years. And they've had tons of lawsuits. They were in danger of losing their state license for running and operating a security company. Now, from what I understand, the former owner of FJC and the guy from Allied Universal, they're brothers. So what they did was the brother just took money and they just merged the company. And they put FJC out of business, even though here in New York, FJC runs like the shelters and the city office buildings and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much you're on the right path, but just do a little founding. You'll see the ugliness under it.
Well, I'm gonna add on to what you said, Ms. Stephanie. Battle here too. Allied University, Allied Barton. Okay, yeah. I know it too. It used to be Allied Barton, and they got all the lawsuits, and they changed their name. Yeah.
There was also a lot of babies born in there too from other people's husbands and wives.
That too. What about the security companies?
A little bit of hanky-panky going on, huh? Right.
They were doing the hanky-panky, the soul train, and everything. If you catch my drift about the train.
Oh, we caught that drift. You definitely caught that drift. Uh-oh. Well, let me see. Anybody else want to speak tonight before we go ahead and close it out? Anybody want to get it in? Governor came in here and he definitely added some flavor to it. Rella came as always and brought some information. So, and thanks for bringing the actual recording as well too, Rella. So definitely Stephanie, she's been up here most of the night speaking on it. Original as always as well too. So we definitely appreciate everybody that came up in here and spoke tonight. As always, another good space. You guys know the usual Newstoter space Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So shout out to everybody who came up in the space tonight. I know you guys be busy, but we definitely appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us for a while as always. So we're not gonna hold it up too much longer, guys. We'll go ahead and close it out.
I'm saying this original wanted me to play this video real quick. John Carlos, hold up a minute, if you don't mind.
How long is the video?
Just about less than 2 minutes. It's way less than 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
Sorry. But I saw that years ago, the original. Hold on 1 second. Let me go over here. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me go over here.
And what video did you say John Carlos? You talking about the Olympian?
Yeah. So Olympic sprinter John Carlos discusses his former Jamaican teammate who did not consider himself to be black. But I saw this interview years ago, though. But he right on point, though, with it. Let's check it out. Yeah, a minute and 10 seconds. Let's go.
So that was the guy, we grew up together. Well, we didn't grow up together, but we used to run track in New York together. And he was young, had his wife and young daughter as well. And we were going down there. And, Dennis had a different agenda. Dennis was born, I think, in Jamaica. And he used to make statements, but he wasn't black. He was Jamaican. And I think Dennis was getting confused his ethnicity with his nationality. And I was trying to make him understand, he was a darker skinned black person, and I was trying to make him understand. I mean, he's saying you're not black, you're Jamaican. And the bottom line is, if the police was kicked out the door right now, he gonna probably whip you up more than me, just based on the texture of your skin. So don't say that you're not black, you are black. So when we got down to Texas, we was buddy, we was gonna have each other's back. When we got down there, the Great Divide came. He looked at the coach and said, let me slide up under the coach and be the coach's, I don't want to say boy, but I don't know no other way to say it. That's what it was. And I saw that right away. So Dennis Dice was...
Dennis Dice, I think he said his name is.
So Dennis Dice was a young guy, we
Dennis Dice. Dice. Something like
I don't know, Dennis something, but go ahead and play it. I don't know. Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was it. It was only a minute long.
Oh, yeah, I don't. Dennis Dyson. I don't know, Dennis something. Whatever it was, Dennis apparently put his like he said, his nationality over his race. So, not surprising. We see that oftentimes with people and stuff like that. So, shout out to Carlos too, because he was when you think about the actual 68 Olympics, you always that black fist up there, is definitely historical. So shout out to him. And who was it, Tommy Smith?
Yeah, Newstoter. His name was Dennis Dice, and he ran in the 1972 Summer Olympics. He was from Jamaica.
Okay, 1972 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's a piece of history there. So thank Original for putting that out there as well too. So Original, appreciate that. And I guess on that note, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll shut it down for the night. Catch us up tomorrow night. We'll be back at the space, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, thank you guys, and we will see you tomorrow night. Peace.
Peace out.